Good afternoon, students. Myself introducing to you, Alok Chakraborty. I am a faculty member of ICAI, both for Cost Institute as well as Chartered Institute. I am in this profession for last 35 years and nearly 80,000 students I have taught so far in my tuition center. Myself is a cost accountant and a graduate from St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. I started my career as a practicing cost accountant. However, afterwards, as my passion is teaching, I switch on to teaching line. However, I have a firm also doing the cost audit related work in different sector of the industry. My specialized subject is management accounting and cost accounting for CMA final, CA final and for CIMA courses. Many of my students are in big positions of different companies. Some of them are already in the director level of Reliance, HDFC Bank, and some of them already became the director of the Big Four audit firm all over India. However, that is their credibility. I want to show my credibility while teaching you the subject, as I will show you in the demo class in a very nutshell manner. And if you join with me, hopefully you'll join, I'll teach you the subject line by line, paragraph by paragraph, subject by subject, so that cost accounting will be very easy for you in the future. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Let us start the demo class by sitting, making a lecture over my chairs over there. Thank you.
Marginal costing and cost volume profit analysis. Now, what is this cost volume profit analysis? What is this cost volume profit analysis? You must know it first, and then what is marginal costing. Now, in cost accounting, just have a basic idea. In cost accounting, our basic objective, is to find the sell price of a product or services. Now, to find the sell price for the product or services on an estimated basis. On an estimated basis, you have to find the product sell price. तो कस्टमर आने से पहले ही हमको बोलना होगा, हमको हिसाब करना होगा that what is the expected sell price from the customer. क्योंकि कस्टमर आने के बाद तो हम बोल नहीं सकते जे भाई तुम रुको, हम सेल प्राइस कैलकुलेट करके बोल रहे हैं. That is not possible. So, on an estimated basis, we have to find the sell price of the product. Now, this estimation can be done. It can be done in two different ways in management accounting. Number one, the most common theory is absorption costing. And number two is relevant costing. जिसका एक तो सब पार्ट है मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग. जिसका एक तो सब पार्ट है मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग. So these are the two main techniques. One is the absorption costing and one is marginal costing, which is a sub part of relevant costing. The other sub parts are, one is differential costing, and number C is incremental revenue versus differential cost approach. B and C are very much similar. One is differential costing and one is called incremental revenue versus differential cost. So as you know from your IPCC and graduation knowledge, marginal cost the definition I think all of you know is a simple definition, is the cost of producing one additional units to its present volume of production. Or service. In simple terms, if we are producing say 50 units and variable cost is 500. If I produce 50 from 50, if we increase it by 1 unit, then our additional cost is obviously 500 by 50. 550 is rupees 10. That is the additional cost. And this additional cost is known as the marginal cost of producing and selling 1 unit. Therefore, marginal cost of producing and selling is equal to, selling भी इंक्लूड हो जाता है, सेलिंग का जो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है वो भी ऐड हो जाता है, is rupees 10 per unit. That is the definition of the marginal cost. Now the question is, obviously, that sir, why should I calculate marginal cost? What is the purpose of computing marginal cost? Purpose of computing marginal cost. If you look at our theory book, if we look at your theory book, just a minute. We are just locating what is marginal cost. CP analysis and its purpose. What are the main purpose? Why should I calculate marginal cost? Circumstances when the sale price is less than the marginal cost of the product, or when we sell the product at its marginal cost. The first point suggests when the goods are of perishable nature. अगर बेचना है तो बेचो, नहीं तो at the end of the day product खराब हो जाएगा. For example, green vegetable. For example, butter. For example, bread. आज जो सुबह ब्रेड प्रोड्यूस हुआ, कल सुबह नहीं चलेगा. So जो प्रोड्यूसर है उसको आज ही उसको बेचना है. So by evening, जितना प्रोडक्ट is not sold out, they will try to sell it as low as possible. And even in some cases, they sell it below the marginal cost because otherwise the whole production cost will be lost. So if the product is perishable, perishable means जो इवनिंग तक खराब हो जाएगा. ऐसा बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल डिफरेंट केक स्टोर में जो केक्स मिलता है, if you go to Mangani's or Mamma Mio, then you will find that the product had to be rejected by the within the 1 day or 2 day of the production. When the concern has already purchased huge quantities of raw material, and the price of these materials is falling considerably in the market. So when the price is continuously falling, then you have to sell even less than your purchase price. If you look at the gold market, some years ago gold was around 32,000 rupees per 10 gram. Per 10 gram 32,000 rupees, and बीच में gold का price हो गया 25,000, 26,000 rupees. So to recover the cost, you have to sell it at the market price. Or if you look at the share market, when the share market is falling, then the sell price is in many cases less than the purchase price of the shares. When the competitors are to be eliminated from the market, if you know the Porter's theory, one of the basic condition of Porter theory to eliminate the competitor from the market, sell the product as low as possible by the existing firm. Existing firm sell price इतना गिरा देंगे that for the newcomers it is not possible to match that cost. And the other reasons are when a new product is introduced in the market, when the product is new in the market, as I am new to your market, to avoid the shutdown cost, to push up the sale of another highly profitable product, to capture the future market and to capture the foreign markets. So these are the scenarios when the product need the support of the marginal cost. So if we look at our original discussion, that when the product requires the help of marginal cost, the most common reason, the purpose of computing marginal cost, main thing, the most important one, to introduce a new product, new unknown product in the market. New unknown product in the market needs the help of very low cost. खर्चा जितना कम हो जाए, cost जितना कम हो जाए, उतना product attractive हुआ towards customer. So नया प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस होने का टाइम द प्रोडक्ट और द मार्केट प्राइस शुड बी जितना कम हो सकते उतना ही अच्छा होता है. तो ऑटोमेटिकली इफ द प्रोडक्ट प्राइस इज वेरी लो then the risk of the management, we call it risk of management. How to recover the fixed cost of production and sale. प्रोडक्शन एंड सेल करने के लिए एक तो फिक्स कॉस्ट है, देन वो फिक्स कॉस्ट कैसे रिकवर होगा? सैलरी ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट, सैलरी ऑफ द सेल्समैन, डेप्रिसिएशन ऑफ द डिलीवरी वैन, रनिंग कॉस्ट ऑफ द मशीन, फिक्स्ड नेचर, एक पैसा कैसे वसूल होगा? देन ये सब डिस्कशन के लिए ही हम लोग मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग चालू किया. तो इसीलिए the basic definitions required are, we need some basic definition. If you look at the basic definition, what are the basic definition? That is in our list of formulae. The first equation, hopefully you know that the sell minus variable cost, sell minus variable cost बोलने से नहीं होता है. You have to think of variable cost of sales, because selling variable cost is also included. Sell minus variable cost of sales is known as contribution, and this contribution is equal to fixed cost plus profit. If we take example on this simple line, if we take an example, sell price rupees 500 per unit. Variable costs, the production variable cost rupees 200 per unit, and sell commission which is 10% of sales, which is a variable cost also. Sell commission is also a variable cost, but it is the variable cost of selling nature. 10% of sale, automatically it is 50. So the contribution is 500 minus 250, that is 250 per unit. Can you tell me the definition of contribution? Whenever we ask the student what is the definition of contribution, they said sell minus variable cost, but that is the formula. The exact definition of contribution is the additional cash inflow, over variable cost of sales. That is the exact definition of the word contribution. That my variable cost of sales is a cash outflow. Variable cost of sale is cash outflow. So we spend 250 rupees here. That is a cash outflow. पैसा निकल गया हाथ से, पैसा आएगा 500. So what is my net cash inflow? Net cash inflow is 250. That is known as contribution. Sales units are, say, 100 units. Therefore, our total contribution 250 into 100 is equal to rupees 25,000. Total contribution comes to rupees 25,000. From there, we deduct our fixed cost. Fixed cost is 10,000. So the profit comes 25 minus 10, 15,000 is the profit. And if I represent this data in a diagrammatic manner, how it will be shown? I ask my student, show both variable cost, sell price and contribution. Show contribution in the diagram. ये बहुत स्टूडेंट नहीं जानता है how to show the contribution. वो लोग सेल प्राइस वेरिएबल कॉस्ट बोलने से ही this is fixed cost. ये common diagram. This is a most common diagram to the student and every books. This is the total cost line. That is total fixed cost line. So that this part is fixed cost and this part is variable cost. To draw the revenue line, move in this direction. X-axis units, Y-axis rupees. This point you know from your IPCC concept or intermediate concept, that this is the break-even point, BEP, break-even point, and above that region is the profit. This region is known as profit. This is the most common diagram known by every student. तुम लोग का, I don't say this is your fault, तुम लोग का ऐसे ही सिखाया जाता है. But in this diagram, where is contribution? Tell me where is contribution? It is very difficult to judge total contribution from this diagram. Total contribution, this is the BEP point, but इसका limitation है. The limitation fails to show total contribution. Fails to show the total contribution. First of all, to know the contribution, we draw the diagram one by one. First, our TVC line. If you ask to draw the TVC line, x-axis, y-axis notation are same. X-axis units, y-axis rupees. This is our TVC line, total variable cost. Second point, what is the relationship between TVC and TC? Relation of TVC and TC. TVC and TC में difference क्या है? TC is equal to TVC plus FC, total variable cost plus fixed cost. So the difference between two lines, the difference between two lines are fixed cost. The difference between two lines is fixed. So when the difference between two lines are fixed, then we can say these two lines are parallel to each other. Samantaral rekha जिसको बोलते हैं. These two lines are parallel. So if I draw this diagram, this is our variable cost line. So total cost line must move parallel to this TC. That was a simple concept. If the variable cost and वेरिएबल कॉस्ट एंड टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन के बीच में गैप इज ऑलवेज इक्वल. सो गैप व्हेन इक्वल होता है तब उसका ही नाम होता है पैरेलल लाइंस और समांतराल रेखा. तो समांतराल होने के कारण वेरिएबल कॉस्ट एंड टोटल कॉस्ट सेम लाइन आएगा. एंड टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन, इफ यू जस्ट लुक एट द टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन ऑफ दिस डायग्राम एंड द प्रीवियस डायग्राम, टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन एक जैसा ही है. टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन इज ऑफ सिमिलर. हम जस्ट क्या किया, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट एंड फिक्स कॉस्ट को प्लेस चेंज कर दिया. ए स्टूडेंट नॉर्मली ड्रॉ फिक्स कॉस्ट फर्स्ट एंड देन वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. हम बोला उल्टा ड्रॉ करो, पहले वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को लेके आओ एंड देन फिक्स कॉस्ट को लेके आओ. नाउ इफ वी पुट रेवेन्यू लाइन, नाउ द थर्ड लाइन, रेवेन्यू, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट एंड टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन एक साथ में. If I draw all of them in one shot, this is our variable cost line, fixed cost line, TC line. Now this is our revenue line, and our contribution zone. We know the contribution zone. Contribution is the difference of revenue minus variable cost. So this portion is our contribution zone. So we call this one as contribution. Then where is the profit zone? From the total contribution, if you deduct the fixed cost line, then automatically this will give you the total fixed cost. So let us represent it by a different color. Total profit zone. So now this is our profit as we deduct fixed cost from the total contribution to get the total profit zone. And automatically our marginal cost line is as usual. So this is our break-even point. We call it BEP, break-even point on unit scale. So BEP बोलने से units, and if I draw it on y-axis, rupees, so we call it break-even cell, BES. So when the question asks you to prepare BEP, that means automatically BEP represents units. But when the question asks you to represent BES, that means we are in rupees diagram. We'll discuss this continue in the regular manner. This is just a demo class. We'll discuss it while we are doing it further in future. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.